Alright, so this is my first video vlog, and today's topic we're going to cover is steroids. So it's a very complex subject, but in the world of fitness, you're going to fall into hearing or questioning if you should take it or not. So, my opinion is it gives you an advantage. Now, am I against anyone who takes it? No, not necessarily, but to each its own, right? So the purpose of this is to more show different sides of steroids, not in a positive or a negative way. Take it how you will, but I'll try to stay away from saying it's bad or it's good. Just different sides of steroids. Okay. So to get started, we'll go by defining who says it's a steroid or what is a steroid, right? First off, WADA, we're going to go off WADA, which is World Anti-Doping Agency, okay? They're pretty much the world leaders in saying what's enhancement or what's not, right? So they test it and they have different things that they test for. Steroids, for this topic, we're going to talk about anabolic steroids, anything to improve enhancement in the gym. So there's various levels of steroids, hormones. You have GH, trenbolone, all those things. So it's an endless array of stuff. But we'll just go very broad and put it all in one category, right? But pretty much anything that can't be bought over the counter, and not to say that some stuff, according to WADA, you could test positive off of. So for example, if you go to a nutrition zone and you buy creatine, you might pop on a test because certain regulations detect that as a steroid, right? For this case, or as a substance or enhancement drug, which for this subject we won't count that as that, and I don't think it is, but we're just talking about more anabolic steroids and those big real enhancers. Okay, so let's look at some pros and cons of steroids. Okay, so obviously you hear about it, oh, it's so good for you or it's so bad for you, but why? Positive and let's make negative. Okay, so obviously some positives is increase in performance. Another positive, decrease in body fat normally or / weight. Okay, so it'll help you cut down fairly easily without having to change too much. Now let's go with increases in, and this goes according to performance, strength, power. Some have seen it in endurance. So far it's looking positive. It seems like it's great, Those are all the things I want to go to the gym for, right? And increase in muscle mass, right? But you have, on the flip side, and these are the results or research has shown, that you have risk of hepatitis, B and C. It could be due to the needles, etc. You're using dirty needles or not. So that's one thing. Really don't want to get bad or any hepatitis. Second is torn or sorry about that, torn tendons. Oh, not necessarily weak. The likelihood of tearing tendons is higher due to the fact that because you are putting on strength and muscle mass, you're doing it at a greater rate than normal, than without it, right? So obviously your loads are gonna, and your volume is gonna go very high. Most people kind of like get carried away and go too fast, and ends up, you know, being like a negative down the line because you're loading so much. What's going to happen if your body's not ready for that increase? It's too fast, just like anything else. If you're going to get injured, right? In this case, it could happen to the tendons, which is not a good thing. You know, tendons are supposed to be fairly strong. For them to tear, that's a sign. Okay, that's a very, very bad sign because it takes a lot longer for tendons to repair than muscles. Okay, because they have less blood flow and they're not meant to take that much of a load. Okay, or at least not so much that they start tearing. Okay. You could get gyno. So let me use a different pen. So gyno, I don't know how to pronounce it, but short for gyno is gynomastasia, I believe it's pronounced, which is pretty much enlargement of the breast tissue, body fat, breast fat on the chest. So some get it as bad as, you know, it looks like you have fat guy tits or fat guy boobs, which is not a good look, especially if you're trying to get, you know, look good for a show or something. And not everyone has these symptoms, and at the same time, some people don't show any, some people do. Some people take high doses and they show it, or some people take low doses and they show it. So it's really hard to say you will get it, but most likely, if you do it long enough, most likely you will develop it. Okay. In order for it to get removed, then you have to go in for surgery to cut that excess fat or tissue that you have in there off, which is not fun from what I hear. I never had that, so luckily we're good. Now, if you're an athlete, you will get suspended. Okay, suspended from games. You could be kicked out of the team. If you're on a scholarship, you know, you might lose that scholarship. So it's not worth that risk, you know. So I would always check to make sure it's not like you're not putting other things in jeopardy just so you could get an edge. I understand, you know, wanting to be the best, but at the same time at the cost of, you know, losing everything. It's not worth it at times. So what else? We have balding. Yeah, is shown to have balding happen. Organ damage, liver tissue, things like that. High blood pressure. So those are some of the things negatively about steroids. Now, you hear people saying, maybe on Instagram and social media, oh, I'm lifetime natural, I'm a natural, or you know, half natty. What the heck does that mean? I don't know. Like, those things became popular recently, or not recently, but since social media has been so big. But to give you a perspective of it, natural is you don't take anything, anything that will enhance you that's not approved by, you know, an association. So to some, creatine, glutamine could be, and protein is considered enhancement or is a steroid, but technically it's not a steroid. There's a certain compound in order to make it an anabolic steroid, right? So those things normally don't pop on the test. There's certain things you look for to make it a steroid, certain compounds. But naturals don't take, any additional steroids. Lifetime naturals are people who've never done it, not even once, not even a little bit, not clenbuterol, nothing light, nothing, haven't done anything, okay? Then you have half natty, which, I think it's like making fun of it, but let's make it a technical term, right? So maybe it's a person who is not taking a lot of stuff, right? That, to me, that's half natty. I mean, that's what it sounds like. But if you're taking something, you're not natural, and you're taking stuff. You're not or you are natural. To me, there's no halfway in between that. You are taking it or you're not, right? So as far as myself, I hate to admit this, but several years ago, I'd say 5 years ago, I tried it. I did a psychosteroids, testosterone, shot up, and yeah, I concur with these things. Now, I didn't get any of these symptoms, but I only did 8-week cycle. I'm not really proud of it. Not to say that, oh, it's below me or anything, but it's just, it's a way of cheating. And, I feel that I needed to put in more hard work personally before I use anything else or ever do it. I'm not going to anymore. Have I thought about it? Yes, but I know, to me, those negative effects from it outweigh, hands down, the positive. So I'd rather have none of this than some of this or all of this, right? So that's me personally. Now, people that choose to do it, then, they outweigh what they want to do. Maybe you're a top 20 athlete in physique. Okay, great. I'm not getting paid to look a certain way, so why risk it? And, I still look okay, decent, but, I'm not trying to compete by making this pay me big money. If that happens, it happens, great. But that's not my goal. I'm not thinking of it as that. I just want to help myself get healthy and help others along the way achieve a healthier life, So that's my thoughts of steroids, different little parts. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, make comments, share it, see what other people think, maybe this didn't answer your question or you have questions, write them down, and I'll be happy to take time to answer some of these things. And even ask me, hey, when you were taking stuff, did you gain size? Yeah, of course, but I'm not gonna brag about it because it was short-lived. So now I'm probably as strong, or if not stronger, than when I was taking it, but that was years ago, and I've been training consistently, right? So, and I've had to put a lot of hard work, but it's, in the end, I feel a lot better doing so than kind of cheating my way through. That's how I look at it, it's personal opinion. If someone gave you the answers to something, and that you're not supposed to, would you? People's ethics are set differently. Mine would say no. So that's, I believe, but I'm also opening up saying that I have taken it, I have done that, so I have a little bit of insight of the other side too, no one's perfect, and I'm not perfect, obviously. So, just my little thought for you guys. Hope you guys like this video. Questions, yeah, like I said, let me know. Look at some of the other videos, comment on those, see what you guys want. You know, if you guys want different stuff, let me know. All right, later.